This week's episode of Layers to Love is all about relationships. I will address singleness. Kai shares her view as a wife. Erica is candid about her recent divorce. And of course, we have to gang up on Karen about her ideal man. So let's get into it. Okay, welcome to the podcast, Layers to Love. And today we are discussing... Wait, I did that too quick. I did that after I said relationships.
Yeah, there you go.
Because this is going to be so good and I just jumped the gun. So we are going to cover the topics. Now, remember, these are just our personal opinions. Do not take this, run with this, and come for us in the comments and the DMs. Like, it's just our opinion. We're just having a conversation. Someone's going to go left at the table, but
we all know who that's going to be.
Let's reel them back in. So, relationships. So, we're going to get it from 4 perspectives, 4 because we all hit 4 phases in our life. So, let's start out with, what do you want to start out with? I'll let you guys call it.
So, Erica made the point, would you date basically outside of your race?
Oh, yeah. I say yeah. I would definitely date outside my race.
I would date outside my race.
For sure.
I'm married. I dated in my race, but I've also dated outside my race.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, she did. I
So
wanted
we
to clunk
talking-
him upside his head, but... And they just as trifling. It don't matter what color they are. They all be just...
Wow.
Told you somebody was going to go left.
Early,
We
so
start
early. Well, in 2 minutes.
Going in already?
It's not even 2 minutes, Mom.
Okay. So,
Anyway,
we're covering the topic of dating since we went there.
Yep.
I would date outside of my race. However, he got to have he got to be able to do a nice 2-step. With the beat.
Not without the beat.
With the beat.
He on the 3 and 5.
He got to have a little bit of swag about him.
Like a Robin Thicke meets.
Robin Thicke ain't got no swag. Ain't got no. He can't keep a beat. You
Boy,
ever
that was
watched
more
him?
so the look. Maybe not the.
No, he not just a look. He has to have some swag. He got to be able to hang out at the cookout.
Okay.
He can come to the cookout.
Yeah, Robin
That's what
Thicke
I'm
is
saying.
Robin
Robin
he
Thicke is
could.
there.
He could come.
Oh,
to
you
the
talking
cookout.
about your boo?
Yeah, he could sing at the cookout, too.
He could come to the cookout, but I'm just was saying to her because I was talking about a 2-step. He ain't got no 2-step. I seen him perform before. He
just sings.
just sang.
He does enough. He would be able to come to the cookout,
Yeah, he can
Oh,
come
yeah,
to the cookout.
yeah.
Yeah,
but not.
But
with
she
you.
wouldn't date him.
but he can't
can't come with
dance.
you.
He can't dance with me.
No, he can't come with you.
Not as my boo.
I don't think the dude exists. Honestly, I'm just.
Who you talking about?
Yes.
Who she would date?
Yes, he is
That's
not
the thing.
here. He does not
Okay.
exist ever.
Okay,
He's never existed.
Are we going into standards?
Can it be a real person? That
Yeah,
I would
like,
date?
I mean, what you doing?
No. She said she don't think he exists. So I could tell you what my type look like, but we're gonna come back to that.
Karen, we want you to build the white man that you would date.
Right. Like, give us some celebrity looks, like looks and style.
No. We're
Just
not.
build it.
Build it.
Okay. He
Okay.
would need to be at least 6 feet because when I wear heels, I'm like 5'10", 5'11". I want to feel demure, so I want to be able to look up at him. I don't want to be looking down on him where I can rub the top of his head. I really don't care about his eye color. The face thing is not really all that important to me. It's his conversation.
What's his build?
Is he slim?
Eh,
Does he got a little belly?
no.
Dad bod?
No.
He got to be spliggity splat?
No, but he got to be bigger than me.
Okay, so a little bit of stature?
Yeah. And he got to have conversation. He got to have a little swag. He got to have a little. He got to be dope. He got to be fresh. I mean, I don't know how to explain it other than that. he got to be spiritual, of course. He has to have a very close relationship with God, and because I know if he does, then he's going to treat me right. That's the start. But then that's the same if it was a black man, if it was a Chinese man.
Stay in the color. Stay in the color.
He gotta have a little swag. So when we sit down and talk, and I'm using certain
He'll get it.
yeah. It's not gonna be fun if I'm talking about somebody and he don't know what I'm talking about.
Or like if you quote a movie and he's like,
If I said it's gonna rain on your head, he gonna be like,
I don't think that's fair.
No,
I don't
not
think
fair
that's
because
fair
I don't even know what you're
that's-
talking about.
That's not his culture.
well, you're right.
That's not his culture. So you this is just
Watch
my
the Notebook.
opinion.
There's some things that I know that's not a part of my culture.
oh, that's just something.
Watch
y'all
the
that-
Notebook.
Okay, yeah. So I'm thinking that maybe you want somebody that can kind of come over to your side and feel comfortable,
Right.
but
And I can go over to
he
his
can go
side.
over to his side. So,
Right.
So somebody that's diverse and kind of versatile.
That's it. That's the word. Yeah.
Somebody versatile.
She don't know who she wants.
He don't exist. I'm telling y'all, this man does not exist. I'm telling you.
Okay, so me, I've always been attracted to what's Travis Kelce's brother's name?
Who?
And that's crazy because
We went
I don't want Travis. I want the brother. Like
Travis who?
Kelsey.
he's a football player.
Oh, okay. So I don't know.
He
this.
got so he got to be white.
We're
Yeah.
we're
talking
like
about
the
white,
white people
yeah.
that I like lumberback white men like Ben
yeah.
from hometown. Like I like that
Like
type
he-
of
Like he shop
that.
at Home Depot all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
He got a.
He had Lowe's with a membership.
yeah.
He could cut
He
wood
died-
real good.
right?
The bounties. The
He drive a
bounties guy.
right. The bounty, yep. He drive a 3500 Ram with some dualies.
There you
Yeah,
go.
that's me. I would prefer him to be a ginger because I like gingers.
That's unique.
So
That's gonna
yeah, like because I like bluegrass music. So you know what I'm saying? Like I kind of feel like if you are to date somebody outside your race, you're going into that thing very open. You know what I mean? Like your racial little things and stuff like that. Like you have to be mindful of that.
Oh yeah.
I have to be mindful because I use a certain word in particular. I'm trying not to use that word, but I do use that word. But I just kind of feel like there has to be a level of comfort to go into an interracial relationship on both ends. Like your family can't, even though it's natural, like your family's gonna be like, I don't really want you to date outside your race, and then his family may feel the same way. That would be difficult in that type of relationship. Like your distant cousins, who cares? We ain't thinking about what they think. They can say what they want to say. But your immediate family, your siblings, the mother, the father, those people, not really wanting you to be with a person outside the race, that would be hard. But like I do, like even if he was like, let's go to Tennessee, say less. Like you get me some acres and
It's pretty out there.
yeah, and let me. What you swinging for?
She's doing
the song.
the hillbilly.
Yeah. And look, and let me tell you something.
You
You see how you swing it? Even if he danced like that, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care. You see how simple? You see how simple that was to build a man? I built a white man.
Acres is the place to be.
All day long.
No. You know what? That's the picture I see in my head. But I really, like you said, the person doesn't exist because I don't really have a type. I have a feeling, how you make me feel when I'm in your presence.
And we'll go there. We'll go there with you.
That's really what it's about for me because
We'll go there.
if you were to look at every man I've ever dated, none of them look the same. None
sure
of them.
don't. Not a
They're
one.
all different, but it was different things about them that caught my attention.
Yeah.
You can say that about me
Same.
because, you know, I like if you were to line up the people that I dated, like it would be hard for you to tell the type of person that I am.
Right.
Even so, like me, I'm not even biased to dating a short king. I know you said this person you got to look up to. I'm not biased to dating a short king. Like I've never been like, I feel like if you treat me well and you can open me up where I can be myself, then hey.
So I like different styles. Cause then you have the.
Was your ex-husband white?
No.
Okay.
You have like you said, the lumberjack kind of with the slick gel hair back or whatever. They got the part on the side. You know what I'm talking about?
Like preppy?
Like the hair is kind of on the purple side, but
Like
and then you got the guys with the like rugged look a little bit that kind of like to play the guitar. Like I can vibe with that too.
Like the grunge look. And
yeah,
stuff like that,
yeah, I can vibe with that too.
I can see that with you.
Definitely. Right?
But I can't see that with Kim. I can't see that with you either. I don't know what he
Nah, I
look
don't
like.
see
Really?
that.
Why? Like, I mean, people who know me, they know what I described in a white man. They were like, "Yep, that's her all day long."
No, I'm sure that's what you would be
She just
attracted
don't
to,
see
but
it.
I can't see.
But she can see me with you
But
can
I
see
can
me
see-
with a
I
white
can-
man.
yeah.
So.
Let me tell y'all
That's funny.
something. I've been single so long, y'all don't see nothing.
Me too.
Me too.
But yeah, no, I can see that because like not just off the type of like
You know, even the music I
yeah
listen
the
to.
music but not just the music like the stuff that you like. He would enjoy that. Kind
Oh,
of
hiking! Like I'm
Right.
just
And
taking
I
me
know
you
outdoors.
do
that kind of stuff, too.
Yeah, that's probably that makes
yeah,
sense.
that's, that right, and it makes sense. But you know,
Going camping and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
I like that.
yeah.
So so do you think you have a type?
I don't.
I don't think I have a type.
I don't have a type. Like once upon a time I used to think I had a type because I was a chubby chaser. Like all like I like a big guy. I do like a big guy. So I mean that would be my preference. Like I would go to a big guy first because I just like a big guy. But I just kind of feel like if you're good to me, because I will give you a shot. I'm not that type of person that, no, I ain't talking to you. I won't go out on a date with you. I will give you a shot because I kind of feel like if there's a connection, then I'm going to entertain it. And, voila. That's where we are.
I think I'm attracted to the connections, not so much what the person looks like. It's what happens in the midst of a conversation, and I learn stuff about you, and I'm like, wow, I like that. Oh, so you play the guitar? Oh, I like that. Oh, you write poetry? I like that. that is what catches my attention. It's not so much what he look like.
feeding you everything like, yo, I've been a shark. I like that.
No. If he does it, I would have to see it.
At least a picture you want to receive, right?
Yeah,
right, a picture of
I
it.
need to see you doing it. I need to see you participating in it, and
a medal, something.
and so and you said something, and so I've been thinking about it since you said it. I don't know what I like. I know what I
feeling you
don't
want.
like.
You know the feeling.
Say that again?
I know what I don't like.
No, say what you said first.
I don't know what I like.
She confessed it. We've been trying to tell you this forever.
Right.
But I know what I don't like.
You don't like Robin Thicke because
No, he's cool, but
He can't do
he
no
can't
can't
with
come to
me.
the he can't
Not
come to
with
the
her.
cookout.
I know what I don't like. I don't like liars.
No. Don't go there.
Okay.
We
Okay, so I have
We gotta reel in.
I don't really know what I like per se, but I do know for sure what I don't like, and if I see it, I'm out.
So why not bond on the things that matter most outside of like I'm not saying feelings are not valid. They are because we're women.
Feelings don't get you that far anyway.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah. So I guess that's pretty much why. Like if it's something that you have in common that is more solid, like you mentioned before, like his spirituality or like I don't know what major things matter to you.
Where you going? What's your goals? What's your
those
vision
type
for
things.
your life?
Do you see yourself in that vision? Do you see yourself in those goals? Do you see yourself when in that spiritual state of mind with him? Can you see that person as your spiritual head or your leader of the household or whatever the case may be? Can you see him guiding you? Why not bond over those things since you don't know what you like?
Why not entertain it? Why not have a conversation, have a dinner, get there to see whether or not you're going to shut it down or not?
Well, I agree with that. But I also believe
Now-
that at some point you close the Bible. And when you close it, then what?
Then you just
Turn
we
on
just
TV.
talked about the last episode. We talked about friendships
I'm
and
sorry.
boundaries and stuff. If somebody don't fit within that boundaries, then cool. All right.
No, what I'm saying is if I only focus on
Oh, the spiritual. That's
Right.
what you mean.
right.
Oh, yeah, you got to, yeah. 'Cause
No, you
It got to
do.
be stuff outside the
Yeah,
Bible.
you do. Turn on TV. Say no, I'm playing.
Just turn on the TV.
I'm playing.
So, with that being said, we're going to go into another topic, which is singleness. And I have been in a single era for a long time.
How long?
It's been a long time. But in this time of my singleness, I've enjoyed that time because I just been reflecting, getting to know me, and I had to really come out of my selfish mode to say, look, am I ready to date? Because I think like the longer you are single, the more you get, you just get in that comfort. And I don't really feel personally you should stay in that comfort. Your singleness is your time that you're reflecting, you're growing, because you want to be compatible for your partner as you want your partner to be to you. Mm-hmm. So during that time, you get busy. You know, you're working on yourself, you're building your family, you're just doing things. You're busy. You're not just sitting around moping. I need to write. I don't write.
No,
Is that
thriving. Thriving. You're thriving in what you're doing.
Right. You're thriving. You're just not just
Existing.
single and existing and doing nothing. Like, I really feel that your period of singleness is your growing period. Like you're really, really just cultivating and pouring into yourself. So that way, when you get to the phase of the dating, when we're building this person or we're getting to meet this person, getting to know this person, maybe the simple fact that, listen, he's good to me, but he got 2 left feet. You may be okay with that. Yeah. You know, maybe, you know what, I can't bring him to the cookout because my family's racist or whatever.
Or they're going to grill him.
Or they're going to grill him. They're going to come for him. That you're okay with this. But my opinion of the single period is your time. That's your time to really, really, really do the work. Are you doing the work in that phase of your life?
And I would say that's if you even want to be married. Some single people actually want to be single to some degree. They probably can see themselves being married every once in a while, but when they really think about it, they're like, nah, not for me. You know what I mean? Like,
and I respect that, but I don't feel like you should pose that on somebody else.
No, absolutely.
Right.
I agree with that. But even like I think about when I was dating and things like that, a person I know was getting married, and I was like, I want that for me. And it wasn't even on some jealous type stuff, but it was more like, why can't that be me? Mm-hmm. And I see what you're saying about the thriving, just doing the stuff that you need to do to prepare yourself to be married, because also if I had been working on those things then, it would have been a better transition into marriage. So it's some things that I had to learn, and I am still learning, because I didn't have a good example growing up of marriage. Mm-hmm. I didn't have a good example. So how to be a wife, what to do as a wife, and how to, those things I probably, I have to actually learn that from my husband and other sources. You feel me?
Right.
And probably, and so my point of what I'm saying is just thriving as a single person that will allow you to even prepare yourself for marriage so that you'll be able to even talk about things. Because what are you going to talk about if you don't have anything that you're interested in?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so many people, when they get in a relationship, they lose themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that time of singleness to truly get an understanding of who you are, what you like, things things you do like, things you don't like. For me, I have been single now for 2 going on 3 years. And my singleness hasn't been the same as yours, as you describe it. Mine's have been kind of a huge reset in life because I had this vision of my future and all this kind of stuff, and then life kind of, I've been just trying to really truly reset, I guess, if that makes any sense. More so than just because the things that I guess it still is in a sense of figuring it out, because the things that I liked before, before I was married or whatever, are probably are completely different than what I like now. So I guess it is trying to figure out and get to know
You.
Mm-hmm.
Get to know yourself. And you may know what you like, but is what you like going to be something that you want to share with somebody else? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like I think about some of the stuff that even my mom Karen likes to do. I don't know nobody's going to want to read a book with you. You know what I'm saying?
You better give that Mr. Biggs. Carrie Bradshaw always read her books.
Like for instance, if I want to read, I don't want him to feel as if I'm ignoring him. He needs to be able to find something to do with himself while I'm reading.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Well, no, not even
those moments where you need time by yourself.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about like sharing. Like, what if you don't want to hear about the book, but you like reading?
I don't really want to tell anybody about the book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just like to read it and be in it.
Okay. 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 So that's not something you want to necessarily
No, the things
share.
that I would like to share, like the book, I don't necessarily need to share that. I like to read it. I like to be in it. I like to think about it. What I would like to share is the things that I would like to share. That's the things that I look for when I'm thinking about somebody. It's not so much how they look, but it's about the things that I want to share.
Like
what?
Like I love music, and I think that a person, if we don't know any of the same songs, music is such an intricate part of who I am. All types of music. If you don't have a clue of what I'm talking about, I don't see how we can. For instance, let me give you an example. This is my ex-husband. Right now to this day, I could send him
a song.
I could send him a verse out of a song, and he can hit me back with what the song was, or he could do the same thing to me, and then we just crack up. And we had nothing else in common but that, though.
Yeah, I have taking what Kim said about thriving in your singleness and things like that. Since your thing is music, and since your thing is dancing, like when there's a social event, you need to be there. You know what I mean? Because that's what you like to do.
I am there.
When?
You're where?
Right.
At the social events that I go to.
What social events that the big
year?
social events that we just had one last year?
Yeah,
just once a year.
But we have
That don't count. That was only one out of all the ones that are actually going on year after year.
Before
after year.
that, I only went to one because I didn't even know anything about them.
So after that one, why didn't you go to any more? Like they have them multiple times. You know what I mean?
Because I ain't had the money.
Okay.
Oh.
So what have you been doing in your singleness? Like,
I'm learning myself. I learned a lot of things about myself that I probably should have knew, but I didn't. I've learned how to be comfortable by myself. how to be happy, actually happy, how to be able to be in my own space and not have to have someone there to make me feel accepted or happy or comfortable or any of that. I've learned how to just be with Karen. Mm-hmm. I go out to eat by myself. I used to would not do that.
Yeah, that's big because I'm still not quite there. I'm still not quite there. I would like to be there. But I've always had a problem.
I actually prefer it.
Well, now I enjoyed dinner but you know what, my thing, I didn't really want to eat by myself because I was going to dinner with my friends, people who I enjoyed it. When I was dating, I was going to dinner with the person I was dating, and I enjoyed that. Going to dinner with my kids, I enjoyed that. And then for me to do it by myself, it just felt a little lonesome for me. Mm-hmm. And that's just why I
do something on your dinner date.
Do something on my dinner date.
I read.
Well, I'm not gonna read nothing, but
well, I haven't ventured into like having a dinner date. My eating alone is I'll get the food and sit in the car. I won't sit in the restaurant, but I'll sit in the car because then I can kind of people watch and I can kind of talk to myself and be like, this.
Yeah, you could do that at dinner.
Right. No. I can't.
Yeah, you can. You get a spot in the corner.
I do that.
And people watch.
Yeah. I read.
I used to do that when I was married. I would still I would go to a restaurant with a rooftop. I love rooftop restaurants. That's my favorite. But yeah, I would just go just get a lemonade, some French fries, and just call it a day and just
get dressed up
and
look pretty. And I go down to Wilson. I used to go down to the train station and sit and watch people and create whole scenarios of why they were at the train station or why they had on that pair of shoes or why whatever. And it was enjoyable, but it used to be a time that I would not do that because I felt like everybody was looking at me and wanted to know why is she by herself.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of how I felt, but that's something to venture into. So, just to transition into the next topic, which we'll go ahead and we'll touch base on marriage. So, me personally, I never wanted to get married. In my life now, I do want to get married, that the kids are getting older, but I never wanted to get married. So going into my relationships and dating and so forth like that, I always made that clear that I didn't want to get married. Was that the right mindset to have then? No. But as I get older, I would like to get married. And the goal, my personal goal for marriage is for me to be a good wife. Because I know my person, he's going to be dope. I just need to do my part. I need to meet him, but I do feel like my person is dope.
No, I was saying match him.
I just kind of feel like if we get to the point that I'm going to marry him, we're good. We're compatible for me to even, because that's big for me to say, I want to marry you. But I just want to do my part. Like, I don't want to be selfish. And that's why, Kai asks you questions. I have a dope circle of friends who are married. I've only seen healthy marriages. You know what I'm saying? So I ask these questions to be, because I would like to be a submissive wife. Because to me, submissive doesn't mean sit down. Okay. That doesn't mean that. It means, to me, the submission is a level of respect.
Can you move that glass, please?
No, my glass is not doing nothing to you.
I'm scared you're gonna knock it on the floor.
So it's like submission to me is just like a level of respect for your head, and I would view my spouse as my head. Could I say that before? No, but I would like, because I've never wanted to get married. When I do venture into that, and I do get married, I would be one and done,
And that's it.
And that's it. And I think that's why I was so particular about it. My childhood sweetheart, I loved him, but when he wanted to get married after we had the kids, I was like, no. And I I didn't feel the way that I had 2 kids and I wasn't married, because I know the opportunity presented stuff. It's not like he didn't want to marry. I just didn't want to get married. So
what changed over time to where you did not? No, to now you do want to get married versus where you did not want to be married.
Well, a lot of it had to do with just me practicing my faith. That had a huge deal to do because, God created, he's the originator of that arrangement, and it wasn't ever to a place where I would just have a boyfriend, because I haven't even been dating, but when it got to the point where I was like, I would like to be with somebody, I know like you're dating with purpose. And so that would be the end result. Like you were going to get married. Like I couldn't, as I was actively practicing my faith, like I couldn't be casual about it. So I had to just look at things differently. Another thing that helped me to look at things that way is that, I'm going to empty nest soon, and so my boys are really heavy on me meeting somebody. And, you would think like your children wouldn't want you to meet somebody, but my boys are phenomenal. And they're really, really heavy on, I don't want you to be by yourself.
They want to see you happy.
They do. They want, they know that I'm happy, but just
Happier.
to know, right, well, and just to know for the simple fact that they can go on with their life and not feel like I got to run home in case mom got something going on with my health or something like that. When I was sick over the summer, I had to have surgery. My boys were there. Like my son drove all the way from Atlanta just to make sure I was there. And then my other son came in, they were trying to give me the medication to go to sleep. I was like, don't put me to sleep until my son comes. Like I'm waiting for my son. My son walked in the room and I was out. And then after I recovered from surgery, my other son went back to Atlanta. But they would kind of feel like if your husband is there, you know what I mean? Even though we would still be there, I just kind of feel like, they were like, oh, Mom, you're good. Like, Mom's good. Like, and they genuinely want that. And I want that.
Yeah, so. And I think that's more like a boy to the mom type thing, because I think Mom is okay. I think my mom is okay. But she's been okay. You know what I mean? Like, she made a way from no way. So I know that she'll be fine, but I do want to see her like happy or happier. You know what I mean? Like with somebody and like having the things that she want to have. So I understand that, but it's not the same dynamic. Like your boys are already protective of their moms. So I get that. I don't know if your daughter does the same thing or want the same thing, but she probably don't have even an opinion about it.
Well, she doesn't have an opinion. She doesn't really have an opinion about it. I think genuinely she just wants me to be happy. Right. But I just kind of, she's just,
it doesn't really concern her.
Yeah.
Really.
I mean,
she know you'll be okay.
Yeah, she knows.
Right. And I think that's a girl to mom thing versus a boy to mom thing. So they just want you to be happy and protected.
Right.
Yeah.
So I've never been in love with anybody. And the times that I got married, they were all marriages of convenience. All 3 times.
So what about your future marriage? What does your future... Because you about to go dark. You about to go... I'm trying not to laugh, but you about to go dark, Karen. Come on now, girl.
I'm not going to go dark. I'm not. That's the reason why I don't want to get married unless I'm really feeling that person. And I feel like all the I's and the T's, all the I's need to be dotted and the T's need to be crossed. I'm not talking about, I want to be in love. I want to feel like if you make me mad, I'm not going to just walk away. That's love. Like, that's how I feel about my kids. They do stuff to get on my nerves, but I would never just kick them to the curb.
So you want to be in love with your kid?
Yeah,
no, she wants unconditional love.
Take the kids out the scenario.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to be
wants
able
a form
to feel
of unconditional love.
Right. I want to be able to feel for a man that I'm in love with him and I want to be with him unconditionally. I've not been in that type of relationship before. All my marriages have all been marriages of convenience. They served a purpose in my mind. And I wasn't in love with them.
So we learned that we want to be in love over all else.
I want to be in love with someone who is on the same page with me spiritually.
Well, of course that.
Right.
That has to check the box.
Of
right.
course.
Okay.
That's not even.
That's the first box.
But
that's
I
not
want to.
e- right,
I want to
right.
be in. I don't want to be married for convenience. I don't want to be married for convenience. It's not fair to the person if I marry them because they serve a purpose for me and they are in love with me and I'm not in love with them.
So do y'all think that love grows over time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think you can grow to. I think you can grow,
Grow
to
to
love.
love a
I grew
person.
to. I grew to love a person,
Yeah.
and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's
It
a
can
smile
go
of heart.
yep.
A smile of heart. It's beautiful. It's beautiful because you like a person and stuff like that, and then it's like yeah. You grow to love them, and those feelings come, like when you argue. Even the way you argue is a little bit different. You know what I mean? You'll argue, and it's like you're not arguing to hurt. Mm-hmm. You know, you're being thoughtful with your words,
Right.
And you're thinking about what you're saying. Some of the stuff you can let go. Some of the things in a situation that I was in, mutually, we decided to use a safe word when we were going too far. Mm-hmm. And we used the safe word. Mm-hmm. And the safe word became our best friend because when we threw that safe word out, it stopped it. Mm-hmm. That's just maturity. You know what I mean? Where before I wouldn't do that. But I had to utilize the safe word. And not many times we had to use the safe word. Like, when you're getting to know each other, my strong personality, a man being a man, and we got to call it out and say it. But yeah, and I think just the progression of that, I grew to like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think I've seen a few relationships that are or were strong relationships where they grew to love the other person, or like the man was probably more head over heels for the girl than the girl was head over heels for the guy. Right. And honestly, for me, if we're not equally like head over heels for each other, I would rather it be the guy's head over heels
For the woman.
For the woman. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because it's not for us to like. I feel like it would be more like if he's not into you like you're into him, then you're more like chasing, like in a way chasing him. Mm-hmm. Not in a physical, like always calling or anything like that. But what I'm saying is like you're like always wanting to be with him, and it's not, you know what I mean?
Like you put more energy into it than he does.
Right, that's the word I'm looking for, and I can't find. Right. Mm-hmm. You put in more energy
coming from the single person.
Right. Because me and my husband, we equally like each other, like we
right. Y'all are dope. Y'all have a dope
like
relationship.
we good with each other, Mm-hmm. And even I'll say like even in the beginning I had like a lot of insecurity because like I said before, I haven't seen like in my household a healthy marriage. Mm-mm. So because I have not seen a healthy marriage, there were some insecurities in the beginning of my marriage that he had to help me through. Mm-hmm. To where now it's like, okay, I get it. And, I don't want to dive deep into that because that's not what this is for. But I'll say that over time, even if you do get married out, because I think I was ready in some aspects, but because I didn't have the background of marriage, this is what women do, this is what a wife does, this is what a mother does,
I had some of that with the mother situation, but because I didn't have all of those factors growing up, it was hard. It was hard in the beginning.
But do you think
to adjust?
anyone ever does though? Isn't that one of the benefits of having a person in your life that they, in a sense, it's kind of like you were talking about with singleness, is you can get so self-absorbed, right? You get very selfish, and you don't even realize the negative, parts of your personality. But then you get with someone, and they're able to call that out, and then you can adjust your personality, grow and mature, and learn how to work through that stuff. So it's actually like benefits of the fact that like I don't have it all figured out. I've
right.
never, you've never, even if you've experienced having a mother, you've never been a mother before, so you wouldn't know.
Right.
And now you can kind of relate to how your mother felt because you went through it.
True.
Or you could have been in a household where you saw a healthy marriage, but then you marry someone that's different. They have different personalities. They come from a different background. But I think it's just beneficial because you truly get to like, it's like you would think when you're singleness, you really get to look in the mirror, but you really don't get to look in the mirror until you with someone who's challenging you, who's saying, yeah, nah, that ain't it. That ain't it. That's disrespectful. Or you know what I mean? Calling you out on those things. And I think that comes.
And that's what I was saying about why I said my husband's dope. Because I know he's going to call me out. He has to check me.
Yeah. Right.
He has to check me and make me just respect him on this level. I know he's going to be all of the things. And I know he's going to be like, you wrong. Even if I have to say, my friend did this, you wrong.
And even in a respectful way, you could do the same thing for him.
Absolutely.
It's a line. It's a line in the song that I like, and she said, "I want to be the only one that can check you, but still respect you."
Right.
And I felt that, yeah, I want to be able to be like, dude, like this, chill out, But at the same time, in a respectful way.
Yeah.
But that's
so I wouldn't do it like in front of people,
right.
Obviously.
But that's how I kind of feel like when your man is up to that level, it falls in line. Because that's where the submission comes into play, as I was saying earlier. Like you'll fall into that line because you feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like you'll have all the feels because he's gonna get my back. He's gonna check me. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. It's a matter of trust
and vulnerability.
We're gonna be vulnerable, and you're gonna get the softest version of me that you can get. Like I'm just gonna give it to you, and I'm all for that.
Yeah, I love also having being with a man who's manly handling business, but then I'm also able to be his softest spot,
right?
Because he already faces so much when he leaves out the door and has so much on his plate and stuff like that. But then be able to come home and be like,
relax.
I can talk to my wife about whatever I feel. You know what I mean? Whatever I'm feeling right now, and not be judged or not be treated any kind of way. So.
Let me tell you, I'm a big fan of pillow talk. Like, tell me the story. Like, tell. I want a receipt. You know how I am. So tell me the story. Like, I'm a fan of that.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I ain't met nobody at your job, but I know everybody by name because you able to come home and just express yourself.
What did feet say today?
Yeah, like right.
What did big jeans?
Yeah. What did Billy say today?
You got a whole nickname for him. But Anna,
then you see him and use the nickname,
right? And then that's not his name. Like you named him Boots, and his name is like Brian.
Right. Larcel or something.
Right. You're like, So on a sadder note, we in this relationship segment that we're going into, we got to hit the topic of divorce. And that pedals back into saying, I wanted to be one and done because I know things happen, but I just didn't want that to be an option. And even so, like, I never, like, I have people who kind of talk to me and they were like, oh, I'm going through this. It's just easier for me to get a divorce. And I know a lot of it has to do with our faith, and that's why we're like, no. We know that there's grounds for you to have a divorce. Like, we know we get that completely, but it's almost like you want to fight. I want to fight. You know what I'm saying? Because one, as a single person, there ain't nothing out here, but I've never been married, so I digress. But, like, Erica, what's your experience with that?
So, divorce is very, very, very difficult. It is. It is kind of like I said. After my divorce, it's like having to reset my life in a sense, because all these things that I had visually for my future, it is like grieving in a sense, because you lose that person or whatever, and you lose not only that person but everything that y'all had planned together. So yes, it is very, very difficult, but at the same time, I think so. I feel like I've lived a couple lives in a sense, right? Like I've been through things, and then I've moved to a different city. I've moved to a new location. I've had new friends. I've done all that, but every time I do that, I learn so much about myself that it strengthens me. Mm-hmm. So I feel like in the same way when I like left, where I was and moved an hour away and didn't have any friends and had to start over.
Right.
And I feel that same sense with the divorce. But it has it's taught me my strength again, in a sense. So when I view it that way, because I was able to do it and get through it with everything else that I was going through outside of the divorce. I lost my mom around the same time and things like that. But the fact that I can sit here today and be like, and look back and be like, I got through it, that's a strength that like I can't. I mean, I give myself a pat on the back for that. So I mean, definitely, I learned a lot in the process. Definitely, I look back and things that I did wrong within. So going into, if I were to get married again, just certain aspects that I wouldn't bring from my previous relationship and lessons that I learned. So I think that's beneficial as well. So it's both. You can look at it either way, but I also get to reinvent my life. I can look at it like it's negative, but I can also look at it like it's positive. I get to reinvent my life. What do Erica want? What do I want? Mm-hmm. So you can look at it different ways.
What about you, Karen?
I separated in 2012, and it was horrible. It is like it's a like death. Grieving. You actually grieve. But for a long time, I didn't think I wanted to be married again, because I didn't want to feel any of that again, because I was focused on the idea that it could not last, that it would just...
The what ifs. What if it don't?
What if it doesn't? Yeah, So for a long time, I did not want to be married again. But I have come to the conclusion that I do want to be married again. I just don't want to be married in that way. I don't want it to be... I want to be in love.
So I have a question for you. You said that you was not in love. So why did you have the feels? Why did you have like the grief of that relationship coming to an end if it wasn't for love? How do you have pain or anything associated to not having a feeling?
It wasn't about love that I was grieving. It was, okay, now I got to do all this stuff by myself. I got to pay these bills by myself, because that's what I got married for, to have another paycheck. It was just knowing that this person is over here to pick up whatever if I happen to drop
So it was only
something.
Financial. You were only thinking about yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was only thinking about myself and making sure that my kids didn't experience what I experienced growing up. So it was a financial thing. And it was, I was cool with the person.
But cool ain't gonna make you
right.
Yeah.
It wasn't love, and it definitely wasn't respect. None. Absolutely none. In fact, I believed I was smarter, and they needed to listen to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
that's
what I grew up in.
Man. That's not
you
love
feel
to a
me?
man
So that's
at all.
why when I had to adjust, I was never like the kind of person. I've never been the kind of person. I haven't dated many people, many men, but like, what'd you say?
Many men.
I thought, yeah, I was thinking
Right.
many men.
I haven't dated many men in the past, but I've never been like just cold blooded, like disrespectful. Like maybe one time.
I have.
Maybe one time, but it's because of how that's.
Yeah, I get what you're saying because growing up, my mom was very independent. She was a single mother. She made, mom made and taught me how to make. By the time I was 18, I was able to do whatever adult needed to handling bills, handling all that kind of stuff. My mom taught me that. So. And then you go to dating someone who didn't get taught that.
Right.
And then you're coming, and so coming in, I had like and then because of my environment, because of my mom, she was very strong. I'm gonna handle this. I handle this,
Right.
That's how I came in.
Took control.
Yeah. And, but I also knew it, you know what I mean? And so oftentimes, well, I won't say oftentimes, I'll say from my experience, you lose respect sometimes for a man that can't handle stuff. And can't
So
handle business.
were you guys young when you got married?
Yeah, we were 24.
Okay.
Yeah.
24, but we started dating when I was like 20, 21.
Yeah, but he's not really established at 20. You know what I mean?
He was in the military too, so he really didn't know. But yeah, he had to. Yeah. But I already was.
Right,
I was already in the career that I wanted to be in, and kept getting promoted within the career that I wanted to be in. It was just I was the one that had the place and was managing the bills and stuff like that, and then he just moved in, kind of thing. So, it was just I was the one paying to get his haircut, just things like that. And then it's easy to lose respect for a man like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He's doing all the things that he's supposed to do.
Yeah, and
or that he should be at. Not saying that you can't help him with these things,
right?
But if one of y'all are better with money, right? Then and let's say it was you better with money, then maybe he would leave the money to you, but just kind of give some parameters of how things should go. And
I
with the money.
I respect that.
But I think there were other areas as well that he could have, but he was very how do I explain it?
Passive, or
he was very passive. There you go. He was very passive, and I feel like it's a lot of decisions just over the time in the course of time that I made that I feel like just if he was thinking more logical and was leading the situation, we would have made that decision. So now it's like I kind of made all the decisions for us. So it's just certain things. So now moving forward, if I were to go be in a relationship with anybody else, it would have to be with somebody I respect.
I would have
to be.
I was determined that I didn't want. I grew up in a household completely opposite of what you grew up in. My mom was
Passive.
very passive aggressive. She was, but she was passive. She let them do whatever they wanted, and she just always had something to say on the low. But I didn't want to be like that. I was in your face, and I knew what I wanted and how I wanted it to be. And if you didn't fall in line, I had an issue.
So you weren't passive, you were just aggressive.
Very much. Now, I look back on all of that. Don't get me wrong. I look back on all of that, and I see myself.
Yeah.
And so in this singleness time, I've been working on that. Because I have conversations now where at once upon a time, I would have been that rah-rah chick. But I just back down. And it used to be that I thought that meant that I was a punk because I thought my mom was.
Yeah.
So I was determined to not be the punk. I'm gonna be louder. I'm gonna have the last word. All of that. So I'm different now.
Yeah.
So now I can see myself married. I can see myself being submissive.
So what does that look like?
But he would have to really know how to take the lead for me to be comfortable with that.
But you're still micromanaging. You're still not letting him. You're telling him, I want a man to do this, but I want the man to do this. Like, let the man be the man.
And then you just support.
Well, then I believe that I should marry the man that I trust to be able to handle being the man.
Well, I'm going to tell you. And I may be wrong for saying this and call me out on it, but that would be on you to marry somebody that you don't trust, you're questioning your second, like that
Yeah,
would
I
be
agree.
that would be on you.
Unless
agree.
it was after the marriage or something like that, things change. But yeah,
Right.
prior to,
I
yeah.
agree. I agree that I need to make sure that I observe that person in their environment and see that they're able to take the lead and do what they're supposed to do. They would already have to be doing that before I would marry them. Mm-hmm. So,
Speaking on the aggression and passive aggression, which is pretty much the same thing. It's just one is passive, right? So it's funny because I was just talking to my husband about this. We talk about it regularly because, okay, so let me take it back. So I listen, right? I practice listening. And the reason why I practice listening is because I've noticed in conversations with some people that they're saying the exact same thing a different way, but they're saying the exact same thing. And I'm like, y'all not even listening to each other because y'all agree with each other.
They're both narcissists.
Okay, so I didn't say it.
what you say?
She said they're both narcissists.
They're both narcissists.
So anyway, so needless to say, I ask questions for clarity and just like, it may sound like a dumb question, but I really need to understand what you're saying.
Now that I need to learn, because if you say something for clarity, like I'm looking at it like, are you being sarcastic?
No.
I will
No.
abuse you,
Yeah.
and not put my hands on you.
Yeah.
Like,
so-
but it's nice that people do that because they just need the clarification.
I just need to understand where you're coming from.
Gotcha.
Okay, so I asked the simplest. It may, like I said, it may seem like the most silliest question. Like I can't even give you an example at
Yeah,
the
you
moment.
do be asking some
right,
silly
but
questions.
I'm really trying to understand where you're coming from.
That's
And it
what
could
you
be
be
my
doing.
friends, it could be my husband, anything. So
sure
anyway, so I say that to say that he was telling me about how nagging is just like it's the same way we're talking about how we can't respect a man who is not a leader or not doing the things that he's supposed to be doing or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Like it's the same thing with like the nagging or it's just like I just
yeah,
gotta leave.
The top thing for
I gotta get out of here.
Men.
Do not nag that man.
Yeah.
the top thing that they say is they want their woman to be their peace.
Right.
And nagging is the exact
Right.
opposite of that.
Right. So I think about that, and so I turned around because I have to clarity. Do I do that to you? Mm-hmm. And he was like, nah, it's not even. We're just having a conversation.
Right.
Like it's not you that
You got sensitive on us.
right.
You talking about me?
Right. I just need to know. Do we have an issue?
Right.
So, and that's something that like I have seen in my family, just in general, not just like with my mom, but like in my family in general. Like sometimes we can, and just women in general. Sometimes we can be nag, like,
Right.
and they try to get like the Bible say to the rooftop. They
Right.
they don't want to come down. They
Right.
want to burn up in the sun.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that it's good to be a listener. Listen more so than we talk.
That's the strength of a woman. When you look at it, and like I actually did. Even while I was married, I was doing this. As I was studying the Bible and stuff like that. Reading on the Proverbs 31 woman.
Right.
I did a deep research on that and realizing that our strength is actually our mildness. It's actually us being soft, being feminine. That's our strength, and it's actually like people may view submissive, and that word is triggering, and it's like, oh, I'm not about to be weak. And submissive requires a lot of strength.
Okay.
Right.
It requires a lot of
And
strength.
sometimes
just to be
just to be
quiet.
quiet. It's like
It's hard.
it is hard because sometimes and I still struggle with that too.
And then you have to be thinking. You have to be thinking in the same way that a man who's leading thinks logically and thinks ahead of the game.
Mm-hmm.
In order to be submissive, you have to be thinking ahead as well, because you have to be like, in this moment, you have to judge. This moment is better for me to be quiet, provide peace, because in the long run, it's going to help us. In the same aspect that they need to be thinking in the long run regarding the relationship. So, yeah, it takes a lot. It's a lot.
I think too. I don't know how things are going with the episode, but I think about how me and my husband was talking about the nagging situation. And when I asked him that, and he said, nah, before he said, nah, he was like, I'm not going to let you do that.
No.
You know him.
Yeah,
so
he ain't gonna let you.
He said, I'm not going to let you do that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I looked him up and down like, what?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she was like,
right.
you
But
right.
I ain't nagging. I ain't nagging.
Right. I ain't nagging. That's one thing I got right. If I ain't getting nothing else right, I'm not nagging.
Well, this was awesome. I appreciate you giving us that perspective on everything in regards to your divorce. I'm sorry that you had to experience that. You know, I know that that's tough. And even so, we're all getting insight to how it affects the family, you know, because sometimes we don't take that into consideration, how divorce affects the family. So, but with that being said, continue to listen, subscribe, share the podcast with your friends if you found what we're talking about interesting. And this is Layers to Love. Bye.
Bye.
Deuces.
Hey, you. Thanks for tuning into the podcast. If you've been inspired by today's episode and want to hear more, be sure to subscribe to Layers to Love on your favorite podcast platform. Since we are in the early stages of Layers to Love, we would appreciate it if you would share the podcast with your friends and family. Just simply click the episode and send it, which can help us reach more listeners and build a supportive community. Until the next episode, take care.